Hi, it is the human operating system time. So I got a questions from our Wing Chun friends on a quid in the 1850s shooting tau quid. The quid is the Y5. So in Chinese it said 会和丹田督脉降. In English it said union in 丹田 do channel sing. So this is a 督脉, okay? So the question is how to get this, how to get there, okay? Union in 丹田 do Mandarin sing. And obviously this is about qi and so forth. Well, thing is not as what most people think. And so today I like to share with you what is going on. So once for all you know what is the reality. In fact, if one do not have a good handle on the lower abs breathing or the entire body breathing, one is not going to be able to do this or to get to this state. Okay. So I will explain you what is going on, and so here on you have a good idea, even though you are not there, but you have a good idea what to expect and what to learn, what do you need to learn, and who do you need to learn with. Okay. Now, first we need to, I'd like to share with you this thing. The Chinese concept, okay? The first one is the second is why I need to explain this to you first, because this is really important, and actually it's really critical, because today most of us doesn't know Chinese that well. We often, if we watch like the Hong Kong kung fu movies, we will come across the term of this 破旧立新, meaning you break the old and then you set up the new. Okay, so it's like something, you just break the old teaching and then you set up the new teaching. Okay, you go watching Hong Kong movie, Chinese martial art movie, you will say, oh, you know, this generation break the old generations and develop the new teaching, which is better. So there's the 破旧立新. Okay. Now, there's another thing called 破而后立. 破而后立 means you break it and then you set it up. Break it and set it up. Okay. So this is breaking the old Like, hey, you know, your past generation, you guys are too old, this is obsolete, so I want to break this all old, and then I develop the new things, okay, good for this era and my way, okay, I'm the grandmaster. So, and this is Po Holi, meaning you break it, and then you set it up. Okay, you set it up, you break it and set it up. Now, this break it and set it up saying nothing about new or old. Okay, it doesn't say anything about new or old. So what I'm telling you guys or sharing you guys is actually this: break it and build it up. Okay, so this Po Holi actually is from Zen teaching, okay, or Taoist teaching, but Zen use it a lot. So what is this Zen teaching? For example, the people who study Zen, when they get attached to Buddha, oh, I see this Buddha statues, and I need to make all this Buddha statue, okay, and then I need to pray the Buddha every day, and it go as much as it is completely attached to the Buddha statue and so forth, so forth. So the teacher come in say, you know what? If you see the Buddha, kill the Buddha. Okay. See the Buddha. If I see the Buddha, kill the Buddha. So the teaching suddenly change. Instead of respect the Buddha, bow to the Buddha, you say, no, if you see the Buddha, you kill it. Well, that is what Po Holi mean. Break it, break the attachment, break the barrier, and then develop it. So what the teacher, the Zen teacher do is, the student get attached into this Buddha, and already go out of his own mind, okay? And so the teacher is breaking the barrier to tell him, say, hey, you know, if you see Buddha, kill him. Then the student say, why the world is that my teacher is suddenly not respect to the Buddha? Well, actually, it's not the Zen master do not respect the Buddha. The Zen master want to break the delusions or the attachment of the student. That's why you need to have Po Holi. Another thing using the Zen analogy is like, we always say, if you want to taste the tea, you need to clean your cup. You need to empty your cup. So Po Holi meaning, if you have a teacup full of tea and you want to drink my tea, I just slap away I slap your hand so that your tea is pouring out. That is Po Holi. Okay. So whatever I am going to share with you, or whatever I'm sharing with you on the past, is all walking the Po Holi. Break the barrier so that you be able to establish your own proper understanding and proper experience. Okay, so you be established. It got nothing to do with breaking the new, the old, or the other grandmaster stuff, or and then set up my stuff. So I'm the new grandmaster. I just break the old grandmaster stuff. It got nothing to do with it. So sometime in Hong Kong movie, because people do not understand Chinese educations, Chinese culture, and do not have the proper education, and they have a lot of this stuff screw up. Okay. So what we want to do is Po Holi. You break the barrier, and then you can establish the proper by your own. Okay? So put this in mind. So what I'm going to share with you today and before is actually doing that. Okay? So we need to understand this today, in especially in Chinese martial art, in the Qi, in all this kind of internal stuff, mind power, all this kind of stuff. So as a human, we live in two worlds. You like it or not, we model it, we like it, and we live in the intellect world. So we live in the intelligence. Okay, so this is the intelligence world. So this is the natural world. So like it or not, as a human, we live in this type of world, okay? Natural world is like the seasons change every year. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Nobody can do anything about it, okay? It just that like that, okay? Intelligent world is like we invent light bulb, okay? So this is the world. And then natural world is like what? The taste of apple. Your apple, your apple, the taste of apple, you have to bite the apple to know what it is. Whereas in the intelligent world, no matter how you describe it, speculate it, analyze it, synthesize it, or whatever, you will never know how is the taste of apple until you go to the natural world and taste that apple. Okay? Now, this is important to know and critical to know, is because today's most of so-called Qigong internal blah blah blah, all this secret, top secret stuff, it is a concept within the intelligent world. So it is analogy, it is like the taste of apple, okay, which is synthesized or speculate within the intelligence world. Okay? And most people don't even know that, don't even realize that the natural exists. And if you want to taste apple, you want to know the taste of apple, you better get out of the intelligent world to the natural world to taste the apple. Okay, you don't use your mind to say, well, I interpret taste of apple this way, I believe this way, I think this way. No, you just get out from those things, those intelligent world, you get that. Okay, you go to the natural world, you taste the apple. That's simple. You don't even have to use your brain. Just eat it. Okay, just taste it. Okay, now, a really extensive, big problem today is in Chinese internal art, Qigong meditation, is people is living in this intelligent world, do not aware of that, and have no idea of this natural world, and keep speculating here and try to manipulate things, and thinking they can do as what they like. And that's why over here you say, as I just share with you the concept of breaking the old and set up the new over here. Okay, so the people using the concept of breaking the old, set up the new over here, and there's no end to it. But like the apple, you can break the old concept of apple taste for 10,000 times and start a new concept of a taste of apple for 10,000 times. You still do not know what the heck is the taste of apple. And this is plain here. Okay, now, so that's about the new and the old. And so what I'm trying to share with you guys, or I'm sharing with you guys with all my video, is get out from this intelligent world. So breaking this barrier, taste the apple and establish yourself what is going on there. Okay. So the 6-13-3, which is I write it really clearly within the basic Wing Chun Art and Science book, is actually a barrier breaker. The 6-13-3 is the barrier breaker so that you can travel back and forth between intelligence world and natural world, so you can see the entire thing with the 6-13-3. It is not in the intelligent world where you use your mind to speculate, mind power, all this kind of stuff. Okay? And in fact, anybody, if they really experience in the 6-13-3, they will no longer trapped in this intelligent world, and they do not use their mind to keeping thinking how the entire world works or how the chi works and so forth so forth. Why? It is like once you get to the natural world, you taste the apple, you go back to the intelligent world. Anybody in the intelligent world can argue whatever hell on the taste of apple, which they have never tasted, but you already taste it. You don't even have to use your brain. You say, well, you know, my taste told me that is the taste of apple. My brain my mind can think whatever it wants, reason however it wants, but why do I use my my brain, my mind to speculate on what I taste? Because I taste what is the reality. Okay, so when one experience the 6-13-3, right away they break the barrier, and then they establish the proper, because if they talk about taste like this apple, the taste of apple, you don't use your mind to think about, speculate about the taste of the apple. You don't. You just use your taste, sensory, to sense it. If you use your mind, then you're trouble. That's why over here, if you get into mind power, mindfulness, chi, and all this thing, you will never know what is the taste of apple. Exactly the same thing. Okay? So get this clear, okay? Be able to get back and forth the natural world and the intelligence world. That is the key. Okay, if you really want to develop any real Kung Fu, internal Kung Fu or Qi Gong or meditation. Otherwise, you're trapped here. Okay? So that's the thing. So right now, with this understanding, I want to share with you the union in Dantian do meridian sing or do channel sing. Most people cannot get there. So let's not kidding ourselves, because most people this is intelligent world, this is the natural world. Most people is speculating what is Xing Qi Do Dantian, blah blah blah. However, if you have traveled, break the barrier, get into the natural world, the first thing you notice is that your breathing, your lower abs breathing has to be developed before you can attain or you can taste the Xing, the Qi to Dantian, or union the Qi to Dantian phenomenon. Okay. Your breathing, your lower abs breathing. And the lower abs breathing itself is extremely problematic today. Okay. So I want to reveal to you this. stop talking about the chi and all this kind of stuff, because you need to know the what happened with the breathing in the natural world, the lower abs breathing in the natural world. You need to develop this before you go to chi this, chi that, and all this sun and all this thing. Okay. Now, as a human, okay, we know that we have a diaphragm here. So when we inhale, the diaphragm move downwards, and when we exhale, the diaphragm move upward. Okay. So if the diaphragm move downward, that means this is expanding. Okay. So this is your leg. This is your thigh. Okay. This is your hip joint. So this is expanding. So when you exhale, this is contracting. So if you really, or if anyone really be able to breathe naturally with the lower abs breathing, then automatically, naturally, this lower part of the body, okay, the lower abs parts to the groin and so forth, is going to expand and contract, expand and contract. Okay. Now, there's one key which is important, which mostly people don't talk about it. No books write about it. The breathing of the human is a natural. You don't have to use your mind, try to manipulate it. Okay, so it just go back and forth. So it's just like a clock. Okay, it just go tick every second, or 10 seconds or so forth. So depend on how many repetitions you're breathing per minute. So that means that if it is natural and you leave it alone, then the lower abs will be contracting and expanding. Say if your breathing is say 6 repetitions per minute, then your lower abs will be doing that. Okay, six contract and expanding per minute. Okay, and while that happen, all this is the lower abs is really relaxed and loose, and that's why you can have this expanding and contracting happen. Okay. Now, that when that happen, okay, the natural contract and expanding happen, that is actually a clock, like the computer clock, which is synchronize the body or the body movement. If you want to say play your 手榴筒, you're using that clock. The exhale phase, say this is the exhale phase, this is the inhale phase. You use that to clock your body's movement. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, now, unless one develop this far and notice that this clock exists, one is not going to be able to get into the qi developed case or xing qi, union qi, dantian case. You cannot do it. Why? Number one is, if this clock, natural clock, is not happen, that means one is actually manipulate the breathing in a man-made way, meaning that we force it, exhale, inhale. Okay, so for example, when you go practice 手榴筒, instead of following that clock, we actually manually decide or try to control or controlling the breathing. Okay, so the proper way of train 小念頭 is at your 意志kam yong ma, you want to develop this clock naturally, meaning that you stand there, you loose up the entire body, and that contract and expanding surface, and you know the breathing clock is there naturally already, and you don't have to do anything. Okay, you just ride on the clock. Okay, so you develop the clock. Okay, the breathing. Now, that is the bottom line, the basic thing need to get done. Otherwise, your qi gong, your 小念頭, your 念頭, everything's off the bat. Because if your breathing is not settled, naturally running in that frequency, like set up the clock, your body is within the intelligent world where you're keeping manipulated. Okay? So in order to get into the Wi-Fi, the stanza or the quid of union, the union in the Dantian dual channel sing, one must have this state first. But you notice that if you go stand in the 意志kam yong ma, see for yourself, is that true that right away your lower abs tense up? Okay, so if that is the case, that means that the natural resonance or the clocking, naturally expand contracting, will never happen. And so first, due to the stance, improper 意志kam yong ma stance, you actually tense up the lower abdomen. So the breathing is not going to be flown and to be able to set up the clocking or be able to resonance by itself naturally. That means one is blocking this natural resonance or natural clocking to happen. And with that happen, there's no way one get into this Wi-Fi, which is the union in Dantian, because union in the prerequisites of union in Dantian, meaning that this clock has to surface, this natural resonance here has to surface effortlessly. Instead of we stand in 意志kam yong ma, this is tense up, and then we have to instead of effortlessly try to do deep breathing, those kind of stuff. Okay, so there's issue now. So we cannot actually understand what is going on with the Wi-Fi, the union in Dantian, unless we get to this state. So in other words, it's like if we don't go to the natural, taste the taste of the apple, we have no idea what is the taste of apple. We can keep speculating. And one way I can suggest that you can try this out is this. Like in the basic Wing Chun Kuen Art and Science book I wrote, if you follow that, when you get into the breathing, okay, or you follow the meditation matrix books, you know you will get to the state that at laying down, your breathing start to get into this natural resonance. Okay, you relax it, you lose it, your lower abs is going to go back and forth. Okay, contracting and expanding. Okay, so that you be able to have a taste at laying down. Okay, now standing up is a complete different story. You find it out that even though if you can do it in the laying down, when you stand up, you can see the difference that the lower abs here is tense up, and then your breathing is not triggering or evoking this natural contracting and expanding anymore. And that's where the seven balls and all this 2C has to come in to get one into that state, so that you can evoke the natural resonance of the lower abs and the clock start. Okay, so say when you do Phục Sao, it is when the abdomen is actually contracting. You use that contracting phase to do the Phục Sao, because you exhale at the time. And then when it go expanding, then you do the Wu Sao. That's how it is. Okay, people who have that Kung Fu, standing in the Yi Ji Kam Yong Ma, doing the Xiu Lin Tao, is doing that. The first 30 seconds or depend on their Kung Fu, 30 seconds or 1 minute, they are developing, let the natural resonance of the lower abs surface, evoke that. And then after that, they use that, expand or contract, use that to synchronize their arm, their hand techniques, actions. So there's no such thing as I need to raise my anus. No, because when this contract and expanding go natural, well, rising anus is natural there, and your spine is naturally moved with that. Okay, and you have the diaphragm and so forth. No, so that is the breathing is needed, is a must to develop. Otherwise, one, let's not kidding ourselves, one never get into this internal Wing Chun. Because if one never be able to evoke this natural resonance in the lower abs to happen, one never really tasted that apple in the natural world. And thus all this mind power, this chi power, forget about it. Anybody, doesn't matter, Shaolin, okay, like Shaolin, the Chan Wu Yi, okay, the Shaolin Zen martial art, and then the medicines, that group of people, or the people who do real internal martial arts, okay, who have the development, all can do this. Or the Buddhists, monks, all can do this. Otherwise, they cannot enter into samadhi. Forget about it. So it's not about this counting breath and all this. Those are within the intelligent world. Okay. So I hope that this will break the barrier of the intelligent world, and so you can go out and taste it. The apple is out there, you just go taste it, and then you can establish your own Kung Fu. Okay, so I'm not here to break who's old and then create my Hendrix new. I'm not. I'm just telling you what exactly happened in the 1,000 years of Chinese martial art or internal art or Qigong or meditation development. This is a critical state. Okay, so when the mind and the resonance, natural resonance of lower abs, the union, that is called Xing Xi Xiang Yi. So the breathing and the mind depend on each other, meaning the union into one, and that is how their Shen, okay, their Shen or their spirit how to say that, solidify, or become instead of scattering out, it become gathering. Okay, it's not scattering out, so the spirit is not scattering out anymore. It just call back, and it just how to say that, solidify, or get stronger and stronger, because it's coming in. And at that time, the breathing and the mind is become one. And at that time, the breathing, the repetitions of this clocking will go lower and lower. Meaning that in the beginning, when this natural resonance of the lower abdomen is like, I say, 6 repetitions per minute. And when the mind and the breathing is union, that 6 repetition minute can dropping lower and lower to 2 to 1, and that get one into samadhi. That is where the beginning of the Qi Gong. So that's why if you read the writing of say the teaching of say the late Grandmaster Ma Li Tang, who is one of the father of the modern Qi Gong, he said that if you want to get into the Qi Gong, then the breathing is at 4 repetitions per minute. Okay. Now, that 4 repetitions per minute is not about that I control my breathing, I manipulate it so that I can get down to 4. It is not. It is get into this resonance, the mind and the breathing union. You just stay there, and the oscillation go lower and lower, the clogging go lower and lower. And that is where you start the Qigong development. Okay. So I hope that this make things clear for you. So let's don't jump from one side to the other side just because somebody said something about it. Okay. This is what it is, and go try it. Don't trust me. Go try it. Is it the case? Okay.